Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Aaron with Tier 1 Concealed. Today we have another episode of Monday Gun Day. I believe this is episode 21, I think. We haven't done one of these in a little bit, but before we get into that, we just wanted to remind you, in case you missed the last couple episodes, we are now doing something new. We are throwing out a little Easter eggs somewhere in the video. It might be something written down somewhere, it might be on somebody's shirt, or something we say in the video that will be essentially a discount code for you to use on our website. You might get a free holster out of it, or a percentage off on a holster or apparel or something like that. Keep watching and pay attention. We'll throw something out there. If you catch it earlier enough, you can enter it in on the website and hopefully get a free holster or a discount or something like that. It'll be different every time. There will typically be a limited use, so act quickly. Today we have the Springfield Hellcat Pro Comp OSP. It's a mouthful, but this is one of the new Springfield subcompacts or micro compacts or whatever they want to call it these days. It is essentially the Hellcat Pro, which we have right here, with an integrated compensator in the slide and barrel. Everything else is the exact same. It's a pretty cool little gun. For something as small as it is, there's a lot of cool features about it. I like it a lot, actually. It has the standard 3.7 inch barrel, comes optic ready. That's the OSP, I believe that is optical system something. I don't know, it's a weird name, it's a weird thing. They're all optic ready, which is cool. This one has the Shield RMSC, I believe. This is what came on this one, but you could use either sight or anything with that small footprint. Another cool feature of this gun is the magazine capacity. It comes with a 15 round flush magazine and a 17 round extended. And the extended mag is still pretty small. It doesn't extend very much at all. It's got a nice grip. The ergonomics are pretty decent. I have large hands, so small guns typically don't feel super great. But this one's not bad. And it fits in our standard Hellcat Pro holsters because it's essentially the same. They just cut a little hole in the top there. I would like to mention one cool feature about this gun. This could be a big deal to some people, maybe not to others. When you get into ports and compensators and things like that, especially things milled into the barrel themselves, you could potentially run into a variety of issues. One of them being accuracy. If you port or comp a barrel, as the bullet's spinning and passing those ports, or compensator, just like kind of like a chunk port like this one, there's a potential for part of the jacket to get stripped off on one side or another as it's spinning and exiting the barrel. That could potentially affect accuracy. Velocity is another issue. We're not expecting much of a difference in this one because it's so short anyways, and it's just right at the very end, this chunk port. But the whole accuracy issue, if you're shaving off part of that round as it's leaving the barrel, it's going to affect the flight of it and the trajectory, and it could lead to issues in accuracy. This barrel in particular is not rifled beyond the chunk port, this little compensated port here in the front. So that's cool. They took that into account. So it's rifled all the way up until that, and then the barrel is essentially just freely flowing through the last little ½ inch or ¼ inch there. So you shouldn't see any diminishing results as far as accuracy is concerned. Let's take this gun out to the range and run it through our 3 standard drills, and we will get back and we'll talk about some of the features and give you guys a score on this gun. And just a reminder, this gun will be compared to the other subcompacts or micro compacts that we have reviewed so far. That is a much shorter list, but it would just be unfair, I guess, to compare it to a full-size gun because everybody likes those more. So let's head down to the armory. All right, guys, we are out at the range. We are at the armory down in Salt Lake City, Utah. If you're in the area, need a good indoor range, check them out and let them know that we sent you. It might make up for us bugging them so much. We have the Springfield Hellcat Pro Comp OSP, and you'll see it got a big old X300 weapon light here. We misplaced the holster we were using. We had a Hellcat Pro holster we were going to bring down here, but thankfully we had an MSP, so this fits nicely in that. That's what I'll be running from. We got a target here And you know the drills. We'll do a build drill back to back at 7 yards, a 3 reload 3 back to back at 7 yards, and then a B8 for score at 10 yards. We will start with the build drill. Looking for A-zone hits. We got a couple hits here already taped up. Historically, if you've watched the channel for any amount of time, you'll know that I hate small guns. But in the couple mags I put through this, I was pleasantly surprised. So hopefully we can do some good build drills. Are you ready? Yes. Stand by. Okay, so that was a 203. Looks like I have one just left of A-zone. That was probably my first shot. Maybe one of these three was my first shot, but decent group. 203, that's I would consider that a good build drill. I wish it was clean, especially for a gun this size. It's very manageable though. Let's see if we can push the accuracy and speed a little bit here. Okay, that was a little better, a 199, so it broke that 2-second kind of standard that everybody likes to talk about. And that was clean again, another nice group there. So this gun's doing well, in my opinion. Let's check out the reload. I don't have a spare mag carrier. So these have nice 15-round mags, and there's not a whole lot of forgiveness there, but there's definitely been worse mag wells, so we'll see how it goes. So for the 3 reload 3, just gonna go from the table reload here off this little stool because no mag carrier, my pockets are too deep, and just want to be able to access something relatively quickly like I would an actual mag carrier. So let's see if this works. Stand by. Okay. So that was a slow reload. You probably saw I got hung up there. That was actually on the back of the mag well. There's some nice edges there that can cause problems if you don't get a perfect insertion there, but we'll try it again. Let me load this back up. Oh, no. Okay, we should. Oh my gosh. Stand by. Okay, maybe potentially a little smoother as a 445, but I did drop one shot. Let's take a look. Dropped one of the last shots after the reload just out of the A zone, and I believe it was this one was on the first string of fire. So 2 Charlies, one on the first 303, one on the second 303. This one, if you remember, was from like the first build drill, I think. Overall, reloads aren't great. You could train that, you could practice that. I'm sure there are aftermarket mag wells you can throw on this gun too. I think, maybe not, I don't know. So we'll put up a B8 and go back 10 yards and test accuracy. 10 yard B8, so 10 rounds, not timed, just going for a perfect score. Hopefully getting everything in the X ring or the 10 ring. Okay, let's go check it out. Okay, so decent group, down 1 point for this one in the 9 ring, so 99, but like consistent, you know.
This was already here?
Yeah, that was already there. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And one right in the middle of the X. So we could refine that, you know, obviously by moving the 0, the dot down to the left a little bit. Gun shoots accurately. I mean, it's got a dot on it. It's a small dot, and I think it's one of the non-adjustable shield, but trigger's fine. Trigger's not bad. and having a red dot on there is nice. I mean, it's not incredibly heavy, but there's still a lot of extra travel all over the place. But I mean, it's a compact gun, it's a small gun. That's fine. Overall, I like this gun. And I know probably some of you out there are thinking, well, you're shooting it with a light on it. Arguably, that could affect recoil and stuff. So we have a normal Hellcat Pro without the comp, the integrated comp. And I just shot that one. This one is substantially softer, a lot less felt recoil, but maybe I'll take off the comp real quick and dump a few rounds just to show you that it's still very manageable. What did I say this was? A light, not a comp. I can't, you know words these days. The light, we'll take the light off because it's big Surefire X300. We needed that for the holster, but I'll shoot some without the light. So we got the Hellcat Pro Comp OSP. No holster, so maybe I'll just do some build drills from Compressed Ready or something like that. Okay, I think that was clean. 172. Here we go again. $158. Okay, those are all clean. Got a little wider spread there towards the end. I was just really trying to work this trigger as fast as I could and get 6 rounds off as fast as I could. Even with no light, very manageable. You can shoot this gun fast, you can run it fast. Not hard to track your dot, so that is very cool. That will reflect nicely in the score that we give it when we go back to the other armory up north. We are back from the range. After shooting this, it was awesome. As I mentioned at the range, this gun's pretty pleasant to shoot. Like, it's for something so small, I liked it a lot. But let's get into our 10 category scoring. The first category we will go over is cost. Cost on this particular setup is $699. That is the MSRP, but it is not hard to find prices much lower than that, around the $600 range without an optic. That's not super cheap, but it's not incredibly expensive. If you really want to get some good performance out of this gun, you're going to want a red dot, so you're going to have to add a little bit to that price. But overall, it's not terrible. I think it's a pretty solid gun, and you get good capacity with it. So I'm giving that one a score of a 7.5. Next up is ergonomics, and I really like the ergonomics on this. I'm giving it a score of an 8.5 because I think it felt good in my hands, and I liked how I was able to control it, and everything seemed to work well with me. So that's getting a pretty good score. Next up is trigger, and I'm going to give that a score of a 7.2 because it is a good trigger, but not great. And for something so small, typically you get some trash triggers. This one feels nice. It's kind of got a little bit of extra stuff going on in there, and it's a little on the heavier end, but overall good wall. Reset could be a little shorter, but it's good. I like it. It's good, feels good. Next up is bore axis, and this has a pretty low bore axis. You can get your hand real high up there, and you can really control this gun, and a lot of that is due to the integrated compensator as well, but still you can just see bore axis is pretty low. That's getting an 8.6. I think it's pretty good. Sights is getting a relatively low score, giving it a 4.3. I don't really love the red dot on here, and I kind of hate the iron sights that it comes with. The U dot with this tritium and neon circle in the front, and the U dot rear notch in the back. Not a big fan of those. I think there's too much going on. I want to see less when it comes to iron sights. And then the red dot, I like different dots. This is an auto adjusting red dot, and those work great for some people in certain circumstances, and other people might disagree with them. So that's why the score is kind of low for that category. Aftermarket Support is getting an 8.2. This is a fairly popular new little handgun, but there's a lot out there that you can do to upgrade it. You can get mag wells, different mag extensions, different springs and triggers and things like that. A lot to be said for a new gun having decent aftermarket support and holsters. We offer a bunch of holster options for them. So if you need anything to conceal these with, check out our website. Round capacity, as mentioned before, it's got a 17 round spare, a flush 15 round magazine. So that is a phenomenal capacity. I'm giving that a score of a 9.1 because for a gun this small and a setup this small to get, what was that, 32 rounds total, 33 if you're carrying one in the chamber and then loading that mag up to 15 again, that's pretty sweet. That's like Glock 19 or better realm for a subcompact. So that's awesome. Serviceability is getting a 7.2. These guns are pretty easy to take down, pretty easy to service. As far as finding spare parts for them, if you're in a pinch, it might be a little more difficult than say a Glock or something, but that goes for just about any gun that's not a Glock. So this one's getting a 7.2. But it's easy to service, easy to work on, take apart, kind of field strip. Next up is value. So what do you get when you purchase this gun? Mags, gun, accessories, case, things like that. I think this one is a good value for what you're getting. Having that integrated compensator, being red dot compatible, having two pretty good sized magazines, and you get a soft zip up case with it. Nothing super special, but overall I think it's a good value, especially if you can find a good deal on these. Looking at sub 600 bucks, I think that's a solid value. So I'm giving value a score of 8.6. And last but not least is cool factor. This is completely subjective to the reviewer, aka me. I mean, just like all the scores are, but this one especially, I think this gun's pretty cool. A couple things I would change, but a couple things that I really like about it. I don't think it looks that cool, but I think it being compensated and optic ready right out of the box is pretty cool. And I think the way it shoots adds to the cool factor because you can really burn it down with this gun and get great control over the gun. So that score is getting a 7.1. That brings the total score for the Springfield Hellcat Pro Comp OSP to a 76.3. That will take this gun to first place by quite a margin. Well, I think we've only reviewed maybe 2 other subcompacts or micro compacts so far, but this one coming out optic ready and with the comp, that helps it out a lot. So overall, thought this gun was pretty cool. Let us know what you think about this gun. Let us know if you've shot the standard Hellcat Pro side by side with the Pro Comp and how big of a difference that compensator actually makes. Also, just a reminder, if you forgot, maybe rewind this video, go back and try to find our Easter egg that we left somewhere in the video, and maybe you can get a percentage off of a holster or some apparel from our website. Once again, stay safe, stay strapped, and we'll see you next time.